Welcome back to Sold Out Sports Talk on AFR Talk. Roman Gabriel III, your host. And remember, if you want to follow us right here, do it on our official website at soldouttv.com. You can follow me on Facebook at Roman Gabriel III fan page or at our ministry page at Sold Out Youth Ministries. We got a bunch of great DVD stuff. We got, which we'll tell you about in a little bit, great video and audio stuff to send your kids to where they can get faith, family, and sports and positive role models. And that's what we're all about, is representing the Lord Jesus Christ and giving a positive example about why it's important to be accountable, why it's important to be the leader of your household if you're at home and you're a husband out there, and to make a difference with your talents and abilities. And our guest is a perfect example of that, is an excellent father and also a husband, and was a great football player with the New York Giants, Super Bowl. Boy, I tell you what, two great Super Bowl teams, which we've talked about in the past, that he represented, and played football where I grew up at Cal State Fullerton out in that area in California. And he's joining us from Kansas City today. And, well, of course, before he leaves, he'll tell you how to get hold of his 2X sportchamps.com, where he has an opportunity to help youngsters to get scholarships to college that are student athletes and serious about that. And he also, as we said before, travels all over the country encouraging the military. Mark Collins, again, our guest on Sold Out Sports Talk on AFR Talk. And, Mark, we were talking earlier about the current situation, and you and I probably see it closer than most people do. When I'm around a lot of these former players, and many of them are guys that played with my dad's era, and I get to see them. And in fact, I'm going to see many of them this weekend at a golf tournament I'm participating in, and here tomorrow. And when you see the way these guys are in pain, when you see their lifestyle, when you look many times at the fact that they're not getting the medical care and they don't have the consistent dollars that they need to take care of many of these procedures that are needed. You look at the situation with David Durson and the Chicago Bears committing suicide earlier this year. The fact that many of these guys, after they're dying, they're taking autopsies where they're seeing black spots on their brains from concussions. In John Mackey's case, dementia. And I think the thing that's very sad is, and I say this with all respect to the commissioner of the NFL and to management, we do a really good job in the NFL of talking about the tradition of great players and the history of this league, and how we could not have, the players today could not have been successful without, these incredible Hall of Famers that we celebrate, and that we're trying to get this labor deal done so we can have the Hall of Fame weekend and induct these great players. And very few of them get in. It's a very select club. But when you look at the way that the league markets the tradition of these players, the tradition of the league, NFL films, DVDs, movies, Madden football even has alumni portion of their game. Why is it that we pay so much tribute to these guys, but yet, as you were saying earlier, we're unable with talking about billions of dollars on the table right now? Nobody's going out of business when it comes to the players and the owners. But yet we can't seem to find some money to be able to help these pre-1993 guys, and yet we're concerned about the safety of the current players and talking about what the ramifications of things like concussions could be.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I'll tell you, Roman, I was at an event with a bunch of former older players like myself, and I asked them. I crunched numbers, and over the about 5,000 to 8,000 retired players, I used 5,000 as a number, I used 8,000 retired players as a number. I crunched numbers, and I said, based off of the $9.5 billion that the league is making, they can afford to pay each retired player approximately $150,000 a year for the rest of their life. So I have that number in my mind. I asked these players, I said, what would you rather have? Would you rather have A, $150,000 a year to live off of, by medical, or B, have the medical and find another way to make money? 70% of those players I talked to said they'd rather have medical. And I'm in great health, thank the Lord. And I must admit, I concur. I do believe what they say, because medical is a beast to pay for. The 88 plan that John Mackey, that was named after John Mackey, it covers for, adult daycare for retired players, covered from dementia and Alzheimer's. And it pays up to $2,500. Well, we all know. My mom was in healthcare. She had a stroke, $2,500 a month is that's nothing. Medical is a beast to pay for. So you got to come out of pocket to pay for that, and $2,500 is no money. It isn't. So, and the answer the forward part of that, no one's going broke in the football league, and then the Madden games, all these other contracts that the league has, they can afford to take care of those who really need the help for the financial or medical for the rest of their lives. They really could do it, but for some reason, they choose not to. And at some point, I hope they get it right, but I don't think it's going to happen in my lifetime, and I'm 47. I just hope that the players who are playing now, and I get in front of as much as possible, because a lot of the guys think, Roman, that they'll never be in this situation. Oh, it won't happen to us. But I tell you, because I tell them, you may be 27, 28 right now, but before you know it, you'll be 48, 47, 48, and you're going to have some issues. They may be financial, going to be medical, you don't have kids, it's going to happen. So just look at us right now, because at some point, you're going to be there. So, I just hope they get it right, but I really don't know if they will.
Mark Collins, former New York Giants Super Bowl champion, our guest on Sold Out Sports Talk on AFR Talk. And, Mark, I should have said this for casual fans of the NFL and maybe some people who don't know who John Mackey was. John Mackey was a great tight end who played 10 years in the league, 9 years with the Baltimore Colts, was a member of the Super Bowl V Colts Championship Super Bowl Club. He played one more year with the San Diego Chargers, but had 39 touchdowns, 3,000 yards passing, was the premier big tight end, could run, played with Johnny Unitas, of course, with the Baltimore Colts, that great team. It had Raymond Berry at wide receiver and Lenny Moore at running back, and just great Colts teams. Them and the Packers really ruled the roost back in the late 50s and early 60s. So John Mackey was a guy who not only was respected on the field, but as we talked about before, led the charge in a lot of ways for players' rights back in the days when players did not have the luxuries that they do have today. And just to piggyback on what you were talking about in terms of players, I only played 2 years. I was not able to qualify, obviously, in the 3 years that you have to. And most players, the average career is right around 3 years. So many people think these guys just have all these pensions and they've got the health care rights. But most of the players after the superstars are guys that are battling to make the team each year, or there's an injury that takes them out early, like it did me. I'm 50. I've been seeing a chiropractor since the day I left college, and the day I left professional football. I can't tell you the thousands of dollars that I've spent on health care out of my own pocket. And you can only imagine guys that played as long as you did, like my dad for 18 years, that had a couple of strokes a couple years ago. He'll be 71 this year. He's got a shoulder that needs replacing, a knee that needs replacing. When you're getting a pension of $1,800 and limited medical, and you were beat up as bad as he was, and I see guys like Mike Ditka and Earl Campbell. It looks like he's 102 years old, and the life expectancy for a lot of these guys that played in that area is late 50s, early 60s max.
Yeah.
So as you said, the numbers, we're not talking about a great deal of numbers, and we're also, from the NFL's perspective, you're not talking about paying out this money till these guys are 100 years old.
Yeah, you're right, and I just think. And I watched your dad play. I think I met him before when I was in California. So I tell you, it's heartbreaking to see some of these guys go through what they shouldn't be going through. Yeah, and it hurts me. You hear the casual fan, well, you signed up to do this. Yeah, you're right. We did. It was a great game, and I would not change a thing about my career in football. But I just asked and begged the players and the owners to do the right thing. Take care of those who play the game. There was a player in Green Bay that I met. Oh gosh, Herb Adley. I met Herb Adley.
All pro. Played when Mackey played.
Yeah, Herb's getting $126 a month on his pension. $126 on your pension? Are you kidding me? Deacon Jones, the same one. Deacon played with your dad. He $126. $150 a month on his pension. Monthly pension. You got to be kidding me. But yet, the league used those players in the video games. And I remember at one point, when EA Sports and these other Nintendo first came out, they used to have just give us like a fee for using our namesake on the back of the jerseys. Now they cut all that stuff out, that revenue stream out, and it goes all to the owners in the NFL. So now if you go to get a ESPN, EA Sports game, whether it's 2002 all the way to present, now they use the Giants or the Rams players in the past, and then that's all they do. But they cut the names out and the numbers out. It's amazing.
Final couple minutes with Mark Collins, former Super Bowl champion, New York Giants, and he's in Kansas City, where he's got an organization, 2xchampsports.com. That's 2 the number xchampsports.com. And in about 30 seconds, give us an idea of exactly what's going on with that and the scholarship opportunities for youngsters.
Well, what we do, we try to give student athletes the opportunity for a sports scholarship. And I'll tell you, the websites are down right now because I'm changing servers, but the email address is txcsports.com or the number 2, letter X, champsports.com. It's been great. The response is great. Looking for more corporate sponsorships. If anybody out there listening to us, contact Roman Gabriel, and I'll give you my information. He'll give you my information so we can get other revenue streams going, advertising the website, which is what keeps it free.
And this impacts young ladies and young men.
Absolutely, men and women's sports, all sports, not just the core sports. From rowing to archery to rifle, all over the country, the response has been great. We have over 35,000 colleges from Division I to junior colleges that's using us as a recruiting service. So it's a great deal. It is free for the student athletes. It is free for the colleges. All you got to do is put your information on the website, and what the schools will do will look for their potential student athlete based on the criteria the school sets.
Take a look at Mark's site, 2xchampsports.com, and right now it's down, but he's getting it back up. And I'll have information on the Facebook, and you can go on my Facebook at Roman Gabriel III, or if you want more information, you can go to Mark Collins' Facebook and join him for all the fun on that as well. And parents, I know you're trying to get some extra money for your kids to go to college and have an opportunity to use sports as a way to do that, and we want to certainly give you that information. Mark, as usual, appreciate you coming in. God bless you, my friend. Look forward to talking to you soon. Continue your great work.
Thanks, Roman. Take care.
Mark Collins, former New York Giants Super Bowl champion. When we come back, we'll set you up for the weekend in sports, tell you what's going on, where you're at, right here on Sold Out Sports Talk on AFR Talk. Hang in there.